Now, it was in December 2008. It was announced in January 2009. It was off in May 2009. It was back on in January 2011 and then off in January 2011. Then, well, it's back on now for June or July in Germany. Yes, the big heavyweight championship for the world title is on. In one corner, Vladimir Klitschko and his 3 world championship belts and his arrogance. And in the other corner, London boy David Haye and his heavyweight title, the WBA version. So after 28 months of deals, talks, insults, threats, curses, fouled bids, anger and several dozen trips to the toilet, well, it's on. And David Haye's trainer and business partner, Adam Booth, who's a bit poorly, joins me on the line now. Adam.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for your time. First of all, Adam, in what country was this deal finally made?
In what country was it made?
Yeah, you know, where was it? Where actually did you put this together? In Germany, in London, in Miami, or on telephones?
I was on the phone to Shelley Finkel, who's in New York, and between us we went through all the detail over a period of 2 or 3 weeks and ended up with something that at last all of us are happy with.
Now, back in January, if I'm not mistaken, everyone was happy with that deal apart from the date that was being talked about. Is that correct?
No, we agreed the date, and then they said that they wanted to do Chisora fight first.
Okay, so that was a stumbling block then, obviously.
Yeah, obviously Vladimir realised that his stomach injury wasn't getting better, and realised that he wasn't going to be boxing on April the 30th. So they came back and we picked up the conversations.
Now, will there be an official announcement, or is it official without an official announcement, Adam?
No, there's going to be press conferences, obviously.
To get it going.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a tiger by the tail with this one as well, because
yeah.
I think that, you know, it's certainly the biggest fight that we've ever been involved in. And I believe it's the biggest fight that Vladimir's ever been involved in. So just see how it catches. And
are we any closer to naming a venue and an actual date?
No, not yet. The date is dependent on which venue, and there's some venues in Germany and there's some outside of Germany. So that's just going to require a bit of detail over the next few weeks. Okay. But once the venue's secured, then I would imagine that everything else will happen instantly. And
where will David and you train? At your hotel there in Vauxhall or overseas? What's the plan?
No, we train in London. Obviously, David's going to have a lot of responsibilities.
Yep.
Sky.
Cool.
So he's off to Miami to get a bit more warm weather training, and then hopefully come back here when the weather warms up to do the last 8 weeks. To do the last 8 weeks. Now, are you actually talking to Bernd Bonter personally, or are you going through the American super agent Shelley Finkel? No, I love affairs back on again.
Oh, good.
We're talking on a daily basis.
Okay, and let me just go over some of the stuff we've gone over several dozen times. There's no rematch clauses here, or are there any rematch clauses?
No, it's a one-fight deal.
One fight deal, and it's what they said 50-50 split, which of course is what you and me and anybody with a right mind disputed all along, because it wasn't 50-50 in our opinion. We thought they got more, but all of that's been ironed out.
Yes. And
David is happy, absolutely happy.
He'll be happy once he's in the ring with him. Okay,
and just finally before I let you go, because I know you've been poorly, what about what's the situation with the guys that you maybe were being forced to fight? Shagayev, what's happening there? Shagayev, step aside money, or just hold on till it's all over?
We apply for a special exception for unification.
Cool.
Which the WBA obviously award on a regular basis.
Sure.
And so having spoken with WBA, obviously I wasn't going to do anything without getting their clearance first. And so that will be the capacity that David unifies the title.
Now, Adam, did you think at any point since this fight was first, got really close back in December 2008, what point did you think it wouldn't happen, or did you always think it might happen?
When David first got injured,
in
the lead up to the original June fight in 2008.
Yeah, May 2000. Yeah,
May. Yeah, I thought we didn't know. That was the first time, so I thought that it had all gone then. We then did the Valuev fight, and since the Valuev fight, we've kind of looked at the Klitschko fight, but there's always been reasons why not to, and why not to begin the discussions. But then in December, we went back to it, and here we are, 2 months later, with the deal done.
Yeah, it's fantastic going to get it done, and I think it justifies an awful lot of people who thought, let's sit, let's wait, let's deal, and let's see where it comes. Listen, Adam, we'll speak to you again. Get yourself better.
Thanks, Steve.
Adam Booth there talking. That's very sensible, isn't it? That's not bad. I'm quite impressed with that. We waited, we held on, we thought it would happen. People knocked everybody, and it has happened. The Chisora people, not a lot of comments coming out of there. I'm assuming people are trying to do some sort of deal because it's tricky. Doug